Hey everybody, look at that beautiful sun, clear skies, nice little light frost last night, facing that machinery east. Look at that clean windshield. Same on that tractor over there. You know, you probably heard that before from farmers and YouTubers, but I'll tell you what, it makes a huge difference. Your windows might have a little frost on them, but at least you get the sun glaring on them right away, just melting that stuff off. Well, we had a few fields of beans that weren't quite ready, so we decided to pick some corn for a couple days, get some of our smaller fields out, and then when we go back to beans, it'll be time to hammer down. Tell you what, here's a nice little surprise. A bag of cookies and a little bag of grapes. Must have got left in here last night. Well, I hope that's a good start to the day. Just wanted to put a shout out there to convex mirrors. So we mount these on the 9870 so we can see up that little window, because you can't quite look out. You're busy and you're unloading on the go, you just glance over and you're like, oh hey, yeah, I got corn up there. Got them on both sides. So anybody out there's got some convex mirrors laying around, too big for a semi or pickup, just put them on your combine, on your catwalk handles. Now the other combine, they're a little different where they're mounted, so just got to kind of mount them wherever they work. What you can see, let's get rolling. Later.
That's right. DJ28 is in the combine. 9870 in the 8-row. Oh, my yield monitor says 230. It just said 280 a second ago. Oh, it's accurate. I can guarantee you. I'm buying corn. I suppose when a tree falls sometime throughout the summer during a storm, can't combine it. I don't have a chainsaw. I'm not probably gonna go grab a chainsaw. The only logical explanation is to leave it, and it's something for the deer to eat.
Remember a year ago when we were making this crossing? It's amazing how a little afternoon project this turns into. Look at that, just going over it right now. Cross right into the other field, working on the end rows. Don't have to stop, turn around, worry about backing in a creek. Yeah, fun stuff. If anybody's ever debating about putting a crossing across the creek to join two farms and it's not a humongous creek, do it. It's worth its weight in gold. Here at the vent site, got enough dry corn at the bottom of my wet bin to create a cone so I don't have corn over 20% sitting in the bottom of that wet bin. And I got it piled up. Now what I'm doing is I'm sucking that cone back out and dumping some of that dry corn into bin number 1. So we have a nice fresh dry cone that we can dump wet corn on top of in that wet bin. Hear that? Oh yeah, I'm even getting hit with corn. It's coming in here all right. I would walk in there, but then a spreader does a really good job at scattering the corn all the way to the wall. Get that corn transferred over, then we'll be ready to hit the ground running.
Well guys, it's DJ back again in the 8-row. Combining corn. So today was kind of a slow day. Basically, Mustard said we're trying to fill up the wet bin, get a dry corn on the bottom so we don't have 22% corn sitting on the bottom of that bin. But we finally got that bin to where we want it, and we're hammering down. Let's turn around here. Oh, I know there is no RowSense auto steer on this machine, so this is all natural. All natural. One-handed. All natural. I like a clean sample with a little bit of trash in there. Not too much. You know, you get that 3% FM. So, you know, everybody brags about the super clean sample, which it's great if you have a clean sample, but too clean, it's not necessary. You got a little room for some FM. Like that there. I don't know, that might be too clean. I know there's a little bit in there, but that's pretty clean. I believe this is a mix of some 109 and 111 day corn. It's running 20 to 22% and yielding anywhere from 180 to 230. So hopefully we get a field average of around 200, 210. And for this farm, it's good. I'd be very happy with that. This is the second year farming this farm. It's one of those deals when you take over a farm, you don't really know a whole lot of history, so you have to build history. Just a continuous effort with fertility to keep improving on the farm, to make it better. And this is corn on corn. And there's just certain farms that are just better corn on corn. And this is probably one, but we don't know that for sure. We'll have beans here at least sometime in the future, probably a year or two maybe. I don't know, everybody's different, but I'm running 4 mile an hour. Top 25, bottom 15. And I'm running my fan about 1100, so seems to be working for me. Sample looks clean. There ain't much corn coming out the back. We're shelling all the corn, so I don't think you can ask for much better. This is quite the risky operation. Unloading on the go, filming, no auto steer. Beautiful. Every time, I get done unloading and the 8520 throttles up and goes ahead, I always think there's something wrong in the combine. It just sounds like a bunch of growling and grinding. And come to find out, it's just the 8520 because it's so loud with that chrome straight pipe. You know that moment when you're going through the field and you start to hear like little raindrops, and then you realize it's not raining, and then you're like, maybe my grain tank sensor isn't working, and then you look at the window and you're like, it's pretty full, but my grain tank sensor's been working, and then all of a sudden you hear a couple more little raindrops, and then you get a little skeptical, and then you ease back, and then all of a sudden it just comes, and you just hear a bunch of raindrops. Yeah, that's just what happened. Before I get out to show you, the corn is doing its little dance. Oh, I love when we get to see that. That one's really getting after it. Look at that one. Ah, yes. That, my friend, is a classic case of the Capcorns. Chase ball, Clark!
I got 2 bushel extra storage. There's nothing wrong with that. Come on! Bring it on!
Where are you? Andale! Can't you see I'm full?
Better dump off a little bit before we go.
Buggity, buggity, boy! Let's come on to go! We're full again. So while we're waiting, for those of you who don't know how a corn head works, I'll explain it here. It all starts with what they call knife rolls. So these 2 rolls, they spin. This one goes this way, this one this way. They spin downward. And what they do is they pull the stock. They just pull it down. And then what happens, these here are called your deck plates. As the corn stalk gets pulled through by the knife rolls, the ear gets snapped off and its deck plates catch it. It snaps it right off. And then these, called your gathering chains, they spin around and they pull that ear up into this main auger. The main auger pulls the ear into the feeder house, and away it goes. That's all there is to it. They're quite simple machines. On our 12-row corn head, it's what they call a chopping corn head. You can tell how some of these stalks are quite a bit taller, and there's just a lot of long, stringy material, leaves out here. That chopping corn head actually has a set of basically lawnmower blades under each one of the rows, and it just chops around and it chops all this up really nice. Some reasons people might have a chopping corn head is it breaks down that material, that corn stover, corn stalks as they call it. It helps it break it down a lot better, and it makes it easier for any tillage passes. It helps really work it in and decompose a lot faster. It's also a little easier on your tires and whatnot. You're not driving over these tall stalks. So this 608C non-chopping corn head that we run, got it last year just from an auction in a kind of a pinch. We wanted an 8-row. Ideally, we'd like to have a chopping head, but you know, for what it does, it works. Our VT can handle these just fine, chop them up if we need, and our John Deere disc ripper can go through this just fine. So it's not too big of a deal. Wrapped up for the night. 72 acres done. Taking the 9870 back home. We're gonna get it switched back over to beans. Hopefully get all the beans finished up. Sending it right down the road. Usually we always just road this 8-row. It's only 20 feet wide. It's not that big of a deal. There's area 21.